Well, that's just ugly, isn't it? Guess I got my work cut out for me here. This is what happens when you put too much paint in one place and then try to get it off, having no idea what you're doing. Well, it's a long story here at Ted Talks Guitars and Life. We are up before the chickens, although not up before the Dallas traffic, if you can hear that in the background. So now it's time to 1200 grit sand the third coat of sanding sealer again. So I'm gonna get into it. Catch you in a bit. Welcome back. Does anybody think this is gonna work? I don't know. Well, I guess so far so good. 2 light coats of primer. Gonna wait a few minutes and do the next one. Stand by. While I'm waiting for the second coat to just dry a little bit before I hit it with the third one. Question. Well, not question, but just update. So I put a hook on the tail end of the guitar. So I guess I'm gonna have to let the primer completely dry. I guess lay it flat somewhere and do the top of the horns. That's the only place I'm not able to get. Stand by. Welcome back. Well, that is 3 coats of light-ish primer, light as I can do. Again, the only thing I need to do is the horns, which when the guitar is completely dry and I can lay it flat somewhere, then I will tackle the upper horn section. Stand by. Also, it might be good to have happy thoughts. Or if you're a praying person, pray this thing don't fall over, Jack. Catch you later. Well, okay, I'm gonna take this bad boy out. See if we can't primer some horns, man. Well, that looks precarious. What could go wrong? Okay, folks, we are primered up, including the horns. Now we're gonna let this bad boy dry. And later today, we'll do some sanding of the primer and get ready for some orange paint. Stand by. Well, welcome back, everyone. Oh, look, a hammer. Oh, it was tempting. Hey, just a quick update. So, primer all over the guitar. That worked out just fine. I have not yet sanded. However, this is my challenge. Can you see the pores? Can you see the pores? Can you see the pores? You can. I know that you can. So, on the back, wow, I don't even have to zoom in. Look at this, man. Look at these pores. Guys, I put 3 coats of sanding sealer on this guitar. How am I still seeing pores, you ask? I don't know. Other side, same thing. So I've got options. Option A, I mean, just literally on the back, there's not one spot that doesn't have some kind of porous. Some of it, you know, you can see it from afar. So I've got some options. One option is I just move forward with sanding the primer, lightly sanding, 2000 grit, try to get a finish, and move to color, pores and all. Or option B is to get really creative. Because there's sanding sealer on here, and primer and all that jazz. Some people that I've talked to, according to my research, say that not quite sure the wood filler is going to connect well. So I don't think wood filler is the answer. I may get adventurous in the spirit of what's the worst thing that can happen, sand this thing and start all over. I got some Bondo, and I'm thinking I'm going to put Bondo on this guitar and try to cram that good stuff into these pores. See what we've got. That is my consideration. That's what I'm thinking about doing. The other option, as I said, is to just sand this down 2000 lightly, get the finish the way I want it, close enough, start putting color on this bad boy, call it done. I know that's not done. After color, then I get to play with clear coat. Yay, isn't that gonna be fun? And so anyway, guys, that's the update. I'll be back. Catch you in a minute. Also, just wanted to say this. I am aware that there are different kinds of wood that are used in guitar building. There are closed woods. That may not be the technical term, but it's wood that doesn't have these open kind of pores, and then there's kind of a middle of the road with the poriness. You can Google that technical term. And then there's really inexpensive wood that is just like open sieves, man. And I think that what I'm dealing with here, the only explanation that I can come up with in the research that I've done, given that this is the second time I laboriously followed steps with sanding sealer and all the things that I knew to do and was told to do, that this particular boards, plural, that make up the one board in the singular, this body, as it were, must be the real. I knew, obviously, it's the really inexpensive wood. I know that it's poplar. One side of this guitar has been, one of those boards has been giving me fits since the jump. But so I am aware that there are the less expensive woods are generally woods that have more open pores. However, what I did not anticipate is that those pores would be very difficult to get any kind of material into to make a smooth, flat, non-porous surface. So we're going to move to Bondo and see what happens. I'll be back. Okay, in all fairness to the boards, plural, that make up the body of this guitar, this is not the board's fault. That is my fault. And so another reason for the Bondo is to deal with any perfections. By the way, guys, nothing I do is prescriptive. I know that you know that already from hanging out on the channel. But I will say this, not to be instructive. Don't be touching the guitar all over like I'm doing. I was putting fingerprints all over this, man. Hopefully we can sand those away. We'll see. I'll be back. It occurs to me that perhaps I should have named the channel Watch Me Do Silly Things. So again, this is where we're going to start. I don't know that my lighting is helpful. Not helpful. There you go. There's the scratches we're going to start with. Again, man, that's not the board's fault. That is all on me. And so this guy doesn't even have his microphone on. Sorry for any impending noises. So yeah, man, how y'all doing, man? Well, I've just never done this before. Never used Bondo before on anything ever. It's funny, you know, I talked to some people and they're like, oh yeah, man, just get you some of this, get you some of that. And I'm like, okay, where do I get that? Well, I don't know, man. It just occurs to me, you know, that not everybody is as what's the word I'm looking for? Mechanically inclined? Hey, here's a question. Have any of you ever used Bondo? Not sponsored video. Do what you want to do. I'm going to do this though. And I'm going to start on these scratches over here. Now the best thing about the scratches is that the scratches are on the underside of the bottom horn. So yeah, worst case scenario, if I can't get that resolved, man, nobody's ever going to see that unless they do this, which probably ain't going to happen. Any of you guys used Bondo before on a guitar? Have any of you used Bondo for anything ever in your life? Man, I haven't. I got no idea what we're getting into here. I should probably have some kind of mask on. Let's see. Oh, good. Cancer. Sure. Love that. Yeah, let's put the lid back on while I read. Dang, that seems to be a bit more intrusive than it needs to be. Hey, come on, Spider. That's a brand new paint, freshly painted, freshly squeezed. Man, somebody get this brown recluse spider off my... Dang, bro. It's not called Spiders Talk Guitars Life. It's called TED Talks. Man, get out of the shot. Okay, so... let's see here. The things you should have done before you hit record. Now, we're just hanging out, man. We're talking about life. Let's see. Precautions. Yep. Don't inhale. Yep. Just in case you wanted to inhale something. Don't do it. Reproductive harm. Okay, well, good there. Yeah, man. I think some kind of instructions would have been helpful. Yeah, no application instructions whatsoever. Oh, you got to scan a QR code? Oh man, I got to go read stuff. Okay guys, let me at least do a little bit of due diligence here and figure out my life. Standing by. I'll be back. I tell you what, let's don't ever speak about this again. Well, if you're playing the home game, you have probably surmised that the Bondo experiment did not work. Not only did it not work, it has resulted in a complete sanding of the back of the guitar again. But, as I said in the video last night, what's the worst thing that can happen? You sand it down and you start again. One more time with feeling, as they say. So that's kind of where we are in the project to date. I don't know, man. I'm beginning to really question my sanity after waxing eloquent last night about the things that were keeping me sane. I'm wondering
if that was true or not. So yeah, you could see the remains of the Bondo experiment on the sides of the guitar, all of those little marks I made when I was handling a, let's call it a Bondo rich environment. Yeah, clearly I went out, I watched a couple videos about it, I went to their website, I read about it, and thought I knew what I was doing. But of course, I put on way too much, and it was way too thick, and then chaos ensued, and the sun was in my eyes, and the hair was blowing my wind. Yeah, the wind was blowing my hair, is what I meant to say. So, here we are. We are back to a bare back. It will soon to be a bare body. And we're back to open pores. So, I guess one more time with feeling, I can sanding sealer. Maybe I'm doing something wrong with the sanding sealer. And go at this one more time. So that's the update. That's the journey. Aren't you glad you tuned in? Well, hey folks. Man, I just couldn't leave on a note like that. There's nothing for me to do now but to clean my mess up and collect my thoughts, man. Hey, I appreciate those of you who are on this journey with me, and I'd be open to your comments, what you think about this. I really don't know what to do with this slab of wood I'm looking at here. I don't know how to close those pores up. I've had all kind of thoughts. Maybe I just get a different kind of like paintbrush or something to put the sanding sealer on. Maybe it's the coats are too thick. Maybe the coat was too thin. Maybe I took too much of I sanded too diligently after the sanding sealer. I don't know. And I know that some of you have very strong opinions about what I should do. And Matt, feel free to share those with me. At this point, I was talking to a buddy today, and he said, man, what you ought to do is just paint the sides of the guitar black and then take it up to a auto shop that wraps guitars and have them wrap it in an orange front and back, and it's kind of have black sides. And I said, well, man, I'm going to give it one more try tonight. Well, I have done that. I think any of you who have been on this journey with me know that I've given this the college try several times. I am not declaring defeat. I am not done with the project. My wife did tell me yesterday, and I should have heeded her counsel. I really should have. Those of you who are married know, man, listen to your spouse, man. Sometimes the Lord himself speaks. Oh, man, through spouses and close friends and even the occasional Facebook comment, perhaps. But she said, babe, why don't you just take a break from that for a while and work on some other stuff and come back to it, man. You don't have to finish this. You're not on a deadline. And I shared that last night that, the only timeline I'm working with here is mine. And so, yeah, maybe I need to take several steps back and collect my thoughts, put together a game plan, and figure out how I'm going to tackle this. But I would be open to hearing from you, as always. I really appreciate all the comments that I get from you guys. But Matt, feel free to tell me, what would you do if this was your guitar slab of wood? Let's call it a slab of wood. I don't even feel right calling it a guitar anymore, but I tell you what, man, that board and I have a relationship, Jack. And that is the truth, the truth. I am for sure kind of sold out on it. So my grandson will have an orange T-style guitar Telecaster, if I have anything to do with it. But I don't have the first clue from here how to approach this project differently. I've done my research, I've watched the vids, I've got a project plan, got step by step written out, everything I did, everything I was told to do. Man, it's just all to the good on paper. But reality's a different thing, isn't it? So now, I feel compelled to say, wherever you are in your guitar journey, whether you're doing a project like this or you've got other irons in the fire, man, I pray it's a long, smooth, safe, joy-filled ride for you, man. Rock on with your bad self. I'll catch y'all down the road.